Hello to everyone. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my Capstone presentation. For those who don't know me, my name is Wiese, and today I am excited to present Project Helix, Shaping the Future of Automotive User Experience. How would you respond to a car getting its driver's license? A car taking the same driver's exam that you and I were required to, same expectations, identical regulations, the only difference being one fewer person in the vehicle, the driver. Times are changing, the automotive industry climate is shifting, and technological advancements are rapidly developing. And to help paint that picture, I want to start off by first sharing with you the automotive industry as it is today. I want to then give you a peek into what the future for the automotive industry will probably look like. Lastly, I will showcase what the future could look like through the reveal of Project Helix. Hyundai recognizes the changing climate within the automotive industry. Using the Ioniq 5, their electric SUV, Hyundai decides to set off to prove to the world that an autonomous vehicle can be trustworthy. Driving the streets of downtown LA, Hyundai took a driver's exam with a longtime driving instructor sitting in the passenger seat, grading Hyundai's driving performance against the same criteria that you and I were graded against when we took our driver's exam. After earning a perfect score, Hyundai received from a DMV in downtown Los Angeles an unofficial driver's license. This is a testament to the changing times. Guy Vidal, Vice President of Design at Renault, a French automotive manufacturer, said in 2016 of the auto industry, and I quote, "In the 90s, we thought it was all over for car design. Actually, the coming few years will see more change than in the car's whole history before," unquote. Gila stated that car design will be about the entire experience. Mere physical shapes of the vehicle's interior and exterior will not be the primary focus. Rather, the human-machine interactions in an era of sharing and connectivity will. These were thoughts Gila shared in 2016 that other automotive executives had expressed at that time as well. 8 years later, we see this truer than ever before. We live in a world where the developments within the automotive industry are exponentially advancing. These rapid advances provide opportunities to experience mobility in new and different ways. Opportunities for not only the masses but also the 5 million Americans who are unable to drive because of a mental or physical disability. So what does this mean for us that user experience is the future of car design? To better understand the future, I had to have a futurist mindset. In other words, I had to study current trends, both within and outside of the automotive industry, to envision most accurately what the future of cars may look like. More specifically, my goal in this research was to ultimately design a concept car that provides an innovative interpretation for the future of how humans interact with and experience a vehicle. I wanted to design a car that provides people with a unique user experience. I laid out my research visually to get a better understanding of current and future automotive trends. This research consisted of world trends, industry technology, and automotive concepts. All this research boiled down to 3 major world trends that all of us, in one way or another, have been affected by. These 3 world trends directly influence the trends seen within the automotive industry and lay the foundation for my capstone. The first of these trends is sustainability. An increase in efforts to pursue sustainability led to the rise in electric vehicles within the past decade. From this point forward, I will refer to electric vehicles as EVs. However, as promising as EVs may have seemed, the industry is now shifting their focus to hybrids, simply because consumers aren't buying EVs. Even though EVs are more environmentally friendly than your typical fossil fueled power vehicle and are generally a better financial investment, consumers are not buying as car companies expected, primarily due to increased upfront costs. With the rise in EVs comes the development of charging station infrastructure and the need to create an efficient network of charging locations. The second major trend seen in the world is environmental awareness. An increase in environmental awareness is paving the road for hydrogen-powered vehicles. Hydrogen is an alternative fuel that provides 0 emissions except for pure water vapor. Compared to EVs, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles give you a better driving range as well as quicker refueling time. But like EVs, refueling infrastructure is needed for hydrogen-powered vehicles. Urbanization is the third and final trend. In 2021, 55% of the world's population lived in an urban setting. Statistics forecast that by 2050, this number will increase from 55% to 68%. Although this metric is for the entire world, a large percentage of the world's urban population is found within the United States, and the US urban population is still increasing today. This has opened opportunities for autonomous vehicles. With autonomous vehicles, more efficient traffic flows can be established in typically congested areas. Urbanization has also led to efforts to make mobility as a service a reality. Mobility as a service is essentially public transit and ride-sharing, think Uber for example, combined into one. These three trends are all interconnected. Environmental awareness leads to developing sustainable solutions. Sustainable solutions are needed especially for urban environments, where environmental concerns are typically the greatest. Based on my research, I built the remainder of my capstone on the foundation of an autonomous car concept that operates within a public rideshare system. Again, think Uber, but without the driver, in an American urban setting. Based on studying trends, in the year 2040, not every vehicle will be autonomous. However, just as rideshare systems and forms of public transportation, such as taxis, make up a vast portion of urban mobility today, in 2040 there will likely be modes of autonomous mobility that are publicly available and yours for the duration of your commute, but that don't require personal ownership. To provide some perspective on this, in the year 2040, members of Generation Z, those born between 1997 and 2013, who average around 20 years of age, will be, on average, 35 years old. Millennials, the generation before Generation Z, who currently average 35 years of age, will be around 50 years old. And members of Generation X will average around 65 years of age in the year 2040. Generation Alpha is the current generation, with this year, 2024, marking the end of their generation. From this point forward, I will be referring to them as Gen Alpha. Members of Gen Alpha are better known as the iPad kids. The oldest members of Gen Alpha today are around 12 years old. By 2040, members of Gen Alpha will make up a significant percentage of vehicle consumers, both of normal, drivable cars as we see today, as well as driverless vehicles. In 2040, most members of Gen Alpha will be young adults. Tucker here is a member of Gen Alpha. In the year 2040, he is 24 years old and lives in Los Angeles. Tucker values immersive experiences and being actively engaged within those experiences. Having been born into the only generation to live entirely in a digital age, he is open to technological possibilities. He also values customizability within his experiences. Finally, Gen Alpha is, in and of themselves, an innovative generation, in turn making people like Tucker more open to innovative approaches. Mobility will be different in 2040, and Gen Alpha will likely be the first supporters of innovative mobility design. But what role does this play for you and me? In a world where lane and parking assist have evolved drastically in the past few years alone, where semi-autonomous vehicles such as Tesla's autopilot mode have been making appearances, and where a driverless car gets its driver's license, skepticism surrounding autonomous vehicles ought to remain yet diminish when we see industries working to create self-driving vehicles for people and for their safety. Keeping these points in mind opens our eyes to see what an era of autonomous vehicles can usher in. Soon, transportation will not merely be a method of traveling from point A to point B. Trends indicate a future of traveling from point A to point B, but not necessarily with our seats facing forward and our eyes focused on the road. If you are not driving a vehicle, then commute time is no longer driving time. Rather, commute time is a time that can be used for something else. And this is where my design journey of providing an interpretation of autonomous vehicle user experience began. I started by exploring a car profile that is largely informed by the preferences of Gen Alpha. I explored both futuristic, more bubble-like forms that have the potential of maximizing interior space, as well as retrofuturistic designs. Retrofuturism refers to the process of depicting the future as envisioned by the past. It is the blending of the old-fashioned with futuristic tech. Retrofuturistic design is becoming increasingly prominent in the car industry today, in both marketed models seen on the road as well as concepts. Designing the vehicle with some nods to retrofuturistic styling is ultimately what I decided upon, as this design style will be appealing, perhaps even nostalgic, to Gen Alpha vehicle users. The interior space is the primary influence of one's user experience, and this is where I directed much of my focus. There are many car concepts that explore the future of automotive user experience, but each vehicle focuses on a single concept, such as comfort, socialization, or collaboration, and do not allow for multiple to be combined into one vehicle. In 2040, when autonomous vehicles will primarily be vehicles within a mobility service rather than personally owned vehicles, making a vehicle more desirable to the masses requires adaptability and versatility, because everyone's preferences, commute duration, and commute occasion will be different. So I began asking myself, How can this interior space be set apart from concepts already seen within the industry? If different users have different needs, and Gen Alpha loves customizing their experience, how do I design an interior that is customizable beyond the user interfaces seen on digital displays in cars today? How can the physical interior components be arranged to better meet the needs of the commuter during that given commute time? Should physical components be arranged to allow the user to define their experience? These are the overarching questions I asked myself as I approached the design of the interior. My interior space design direction included movable components that are placed in positions versatile enough to allow for multiple interior arrangements. This allows for flexibility through customizability. Imagine this. What if, in an age where time always seems to be of the essence, you could define your riding experience for that specific commute time? If you need a space to get some sleep, you can do that. If you need to de-stress by watching a movie, done. If you need a distraction-free environment that allows you to prepare for your upcoming business meeting, you have it. All with a push of a button. Introducing Project Helix, a fully autonomous electric vehicle that is available to the public when needed for personal commute. Rather than you running on the schedule of someone else operating a non-autonomous mode of transportation, Helix runs on your timetable. Helix is available when you need it. The vehicle allows for up to 2 riders and is designed to let you choose how you need to use the space for the duration you occupy it. An app allows you to configure the interior to meet the needs of your commute time by providing you with several configuration possibilities. Some of these configurations include options such as Focus Mode, which is designed to create a distraction-free environment to boost your productivity, or Socialization Mode, where you and a friend can have a face-to-face conversation. The Helix logo combines the Greek letter alpha, a reference to Gen Alpha, with the infinity symbol, highlighting the many user experience possibilities that Helix offers users. Together, these two symbols combine to create a double helix-like symbol as found in DNA. This is where the name Helix is derived from, with special emphasis on the last letter in the word, the letter X, for experience. Project Helix is the DNA of user experience. The main components within the cabin space include 2 personal displays that serve as both infotainment devices as well as vehicle customization controls, 2 seats, a table, and a storage compartment. The seats are movable along tracks, the grid-like structure seen on the floor. Shown on screen is Focus Mode, a configuration designed to create a productive environment. One of these seats faces the front of the vehicle, while the other seat faces the table, providing you with a desk space to do last-minute preparation for a business meeting, for example, or to tend to your urgent emails. The displays are also movable along tracks that span the interior side walls. In this current configuration, the displays are turned off, but you as the rider can choose if you want anything on the displays. Blue lighting, as seen on screen, is a color that is set to calm and promote concentration and focus. Socialization mode is another possibility. This mode provides you with a space to have a face-to-face conversation with a friend. In the configuration shown on screen, the seats are facing each other, the displays are turned on, and there is yellow ambient lighting. Positive emotions are often associated with the color yellow. Again, this configuration is one of many possibilities that you could arrange the interior as to define your experience. We've already looked at 2 configuration possibilities, but the versatility of Helix goes beyond those 2 possibilities. If you ever find yourself landing at the airport, exhausted and needing to get some rest, Rest Mode provides a quiet, relaxing environment in which you can sleep. Additionally, with not knowing the driver no longer being a source of worry, getting good sleep won't be an issue. This configuration includes reclined seats to provide additional comfort. The displays are placed at a distance from the seats to maximize room and to minimize distraction. As briefly mentioned earlier, the cabin space includes a storage compartment at the rear of the interior. This vehicle does not have a trunk, but the storage compartment provides sufficient cargo space for personal belongings, such as a suitcase, which you'd likely be carrying if you're on the way back from the airport. There's also entertainment mode. This mode is a great choice for longer commutes that you want to spend watching an entertainment option of your choosing. This configuration is arranged with the 2 seats facing the front and the personal displays within arm's reach. Today you see vehicles with more glass surrounding the greenhouse, or the habitable part of the vehicle. And in 2040, when manufacturing techniques are even more advanced, an interior enclosed mostly or entirely by glass will be possible. In this vehicle, the large span of windows double as one-way displays, essentially acting as large TVs that can be used for entertainment options. The four modes presented, focus, socialization, rest, and entertainment, are just four of many customization options. The fact that I've only presented four modes is not meant to be restrictive. Rather, it's meant to do the exact opposite, to give you an idea of what is possible. There are far more than four modes worth of immersive customization. With endless integration of technology, as we will see in 2040, and arrangeable components, you have full control over your experience. Some of you may be thinking right now, I never utilize Uber and can't imagine finding myself needing to use a mobility service in the future. And that is a valid comment, but what Project Helix both explores and showcases is not limited to an autonomous vehicle operating within a mobility service in an American urban setting. These are merely foundations I put in place to understand the setting that a concept like this could operate within. Project Helix is not a concept tethered to this exact exterior design or an American urban setting. Rather, it is an interpretation of what the future of automotive user experience could be like. And like the future, there are no set limits to what can be accomplished. Project Helix sets out to prove just that. Hyundai recognizes the need for automotive innovation. Human need is the primary motivation that drives their innovation. Speaking of their driver's test, Hyundai says their vehicle is, and I quote, the first car to take a driver's test for everyone who can't take one, unquote. For the 5 million Americans who are unable to drive due to a physical or mental disability, Project Helix offers an opportunity for them to experience mobility in a way they never have been able to do so before. For the 13.4 million Americans who find driving difficult because of a travel-limiting disability, Project Helix provides a vision for an adaptable interior to meet the needs of specific human limitations and hindrances. For everyone else, Project Helix leads the way into the future of automotive user experience, giving you the opportunity to transform your commute time into a personalized journey, regardless of your commute's duration or destination. For both those who see themselves using mobility services in the future and for those who do not, this concept is designed to bring excitement for the future of automotive user experience. This concept paves the way forward into a future of many opportunities for everyone to experience a car in new and unique ways. With Project Helix, every moment within its walls becomes an occasion to integrate convenience into your life, one ride at a time. Introducing Project Helix, the DNA of automotive user experience. Thanks to all who have helped make this possible: Cedarville University, the ICC, friends, family, and our kind Father in heaven. Thank you.